We'll see what happens going forward.
LeBron James. LeBron James.
But I don't know. I don't know. I got a lot to think about, to be honest. And just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, got a lot to think about.
Let's go. Hanging up, we got to do a whole video on Melo and just his impact on the game as one of the best pure scorers of all time. One of my favorite players, definitely, probably my favorite player ever. And I watched him from Syracuse. One of the first bets I ever made growing up, I bet on Syracuse to win the national championship after I saw Carmelo play at Oak Hill, and they won. You know, one of my favorite players. But now, after a somber end to this season, where we know LeBron was just really pushing, do all he could. They flipped the whole roster halfway through the season. There are rumblings that maybe LeBron could hang it up. He had the nagging foot injury, was out for an extensive period in the season. You know, put everything on the line, had the team on his back, super fatigued, 31 in the first half of game 4. No help whatsoever in terms of avoiding that sweep. Could this be the last that we see of the King?
Just add to the point where he didn't have, you say he didn't have any help. I do think he had help. I just think it wasn't substantive enough for them to actually beat the Nuggets. They just didn't have enough to beat the Nuggets. I do think the key role players did what they had to do for the most part, but they just didn't have enough. But to LeBron retiring, I could see it possibly. I do think that he will love to play in the league with his son, Bronny. But it gets to a point in time where you just take a step back and you just kind of recollect what has transpired over the past 20 years. All-time scoring leader, 4-time NBA champion, perennial future Hall of Famer. So now you have to take a step back and you have to think, okay, is there anything else that's keeping me going? What's driving me to get up every single day at whatever time LeBron James wakes up, by the grace of God, to go out, train, eat, spend time with family, handle business ventures, and do it all again. And so, him being in the latter part of his career, he has so many off the court opportunities that I'm sure that he has not ventured in due to his commitment to basketball. So imagine all the stuff that he's accomplished thus far with basketball in his life, and imagine retiring and being able to fully devote your time into your family and your business endeavors outside of basketball. I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron was able to be, worth $2 billion, in the span of 2 years, just being able to step away from basketball. So I don't know, man. I'm intrigued by the comments. I know that there's this buzz around him retiring after those comments, but he loves the game so much, and I definitely think he wants to play with his son. So it does have me scratching my head thinking, hey, that's a feasible option for him to retire. Then on top of that, his son is heading out to USC. Maybe he wants to spend time with his son, cultivating his skills, his talent to ensure that he's ready to compete at the next level. Because he's going to get a chance to compete at the next level, not only because of his name, but he's like that. He has the talent, I think, that he can play in the NBA. So being able to spend more time with his kids, his wife, I wouldn't be mad at him if he retires. So congratulations to LeBron with his illustrious career. If he wants to keep building on it, he can. If he wants to go ahead and throw in the towel, he can too. No one's going to look down on him and say, hey, you have more in the tank, you should just keep going. So that's my
Yeah, I think that's a great synopsis. I don't got much to add, but I will say I think there's no way he hangs it up after this year. I think a lot of, like you said, a lot of that is the reflection of a tough season, one in which he laid it all on the line, one in which he was hoping for a better outcome. he probably knew in his heart of hearts and in the back of his head that they weren't going to win a championship this year. But as a competitor, you hold out hope that there's some way and you'll pull it together. So I think there's no way. I think he's committed to playing until Bronny gets to the league and trying to find a way to play with Bronny. Um, and I think he's going to be able to do that because we see that he's still performing at a high level when it comes to competing with the guys that are in the NBA right now. And to caveat, I do want to correct. I don't think it's that he didn't have help. I would say that I think that he didn't have any dogs on the court with him. So he had help, but he needed another dog on the court.
It's
Somebody
putting Austin Reeves. I have to agree.
I think Austin Reeves is an anomaly in terms of like I don't even want to include him in that conversation because he's been a pleasant surprise for viewers in general. Nobody knew who Austin Reeves was, so I don't want to include him in it because he's still out there. It's like he's still got something to prove, even though he's proved that he belongs. So I don't want to say no names, but I'm not talking about Austin Reeves. There's a couple other guys.
Kenny Davis.
Oh, there's a couple other guys on that roster.
Hey, when you're we love you, bro, but come on, man. Come on, bro. You can give so much more, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta find out if some of these guys got that dog in them. And what I saw in Game 4 is that nobody had that dog in them, other than LeBron. And like I said, that last play is what goes back in my mind, and I'm sure you're gonna see it on the screen here in a second. But to let Jokic was determined. That's when we say he got that dog in him. This play that you're watching right now, that's that dog. I'm gonna score right now. It's a top ball game. It's 111 to 111. I'm gonna score. You're not gonna stop me. If it's you and me in the basket and you're in between me and the basket, you're getting out of the way. That's what I'm talking about when I say that dog. And he didn't have nobody else that had it in him. We know LeBron got it in him. 31 in the first half at 40. Like, come on, bro. So I just wish he had more help, but I know we'll see the King again. Hopefully, we'll see him reign supreme again as well, because it's great for basketball. But as always, man, it's just our thoughts. I'm sure you guys have some thoughts. Drop them in the comments. Let us know what they are. Give us that CLS treatment. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll be back with more from me in the arena.